him.
I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Smack-a-magob, it's time for the only news that matters. And when speaking to a musician magazine, Roger Waters thought the music should be divided between artists who write based on feelings and artists who write to please the audience. Compared to his songwriting heroes, Waters knew that Phil Collins represented everything superficial about the music industry, explaining, "I seem to always wind up attacking poor Phil Collins. He's symptomatic of an awful lot of us. And he might well disagree, and so might his fans, but the feeling I get is that he's pretending to be a songwriter or a rock and roller. It's just an act. That's why it's unsatisfying." Granted, it seems the displeasure went both ways as well. When talking about his experience listening to Pink Floyd albums, Phil Collins said he was never delighted either, recalling, "I was aware of what they were doing, but I never really was a fan. I was in a band that was kind of being always put in the same box as that lot, but never felt that we actually were in the same box. But we probably were." Collins didn't necessarily let his naysayers affect him, going on to contribute songs to the soundtrack to Disney's Tarzan while also pleasing his pop fans with his solo career and Genesis. No matter how much technical chops Phil Collins had, though, Waters would always see him as a court jester version of what a rock star is supposed to be. There you go, Roger Waters. Always bashing on people. He also said some stuff about Eddie Van Halen and, hey, look, man, I ain't gonna bash the guy. I'm not the biggest Phil Collins fan, but I will say, as years has gone by, I have appreciated his work with Genesis even more than the Peter Gabriel stuff, which was a little too out there for me, a little too proggy. I'm not a fan of prog unless it's Gentle Giant, and a handful of songs here and there. But I didn't like anything that Genesis did with Peter Gabriel on vocals. But I liked that self-titled one with Mama. I own that one. I actually love that album. I thought Duke was good, and I enjoyed Abacab. I know there's other ones, but those are the three I appreciate. I don't think it's that bad. Now, would I put it above Pink Floyd? Oh, hell no. Roger Waters may be a big mouth and say a lot of crap, and a lot of crap I don't agree with, but at the same time, he's wrote some of the greatest music. In my opinion, the greatest album ever is The Wall, which is basically a Roger Waters album. But, then again, Comfortably Numb, the greatest guitar solos ever, was written by David Gilmour. And I'm sure he had a lot to do with the album, but I'm pretty sure Rogers had all to do with it. And of course, Animals and Wish You Were Here and Dark Side of the Moon. Hell, I even like Final Cut, and forever I didn't like that album. And it's grown on me. I actually think it's a pretty damn fine album. Now, what will never grow on me is his Dark Side of the Moon Redux crap he released last year. That was terrible. Somebody asked me to do a track by track, so there is a review. All my track by tracks are album reviews. I just review two albums at the same time. But bottom line, Roger Waters, he's not into, he's trying to play to his audience, or, he's trying to be a rock and roller and this and that. That's, to me, looking way too deep into somebody. But whatever. I'm sure I'm guilty of it as well, but in the end, it's about the music. I mean, hey, if Roger Waters is right about everything Phil Collins does, that he's a phony and this and that, and there's a lot of songs that Phony did that I dig, especially, well, only really with Genesis, because no, I don't like In the Air Tonight, I don't like, those solo songs that I can't get into. He's got a nice voice and all, but I have never seen Phil Collins or Genesis live, and that was on purpose, because they never been a thing for me. But in my old age, a lot of stuff that I didn't like younger, I ended up liking. Some has to do with the viewers here asking me to, do track by tracks and stuff, and I hear these albums of bands I used to not like, and I ended up liking. I don't think Genesis is one of them, though, because I remember I always liked the song Mama from that self-titled album, and then I remember I used to go to the store that had vinyl for like $1 or $2, and this was before the vinyl craze. It was probably like 12 years ago. Going through there, I saw the Genesis album, and I was like, oh, let me see what this has. And I saw track 1, Mama. I said, shit, I'm buying this for $1. And I ended up liking most of it. Illegal Alien was stupid. And there was a couple other dumb songs, but for the most part, I really did enjoy that album. But in the end, I'm a bigger fan of, that cunnilingus mouth Roger Waters, who, talks a lot of garbage, and a lot of garbage I don't agree with, but in the end of the day, it doesn't matter what an artist says. It's what the artist plays. That's what I look at. I've said it a million times before. If I was to only own albums that didn't have dickheads on it, I'd only own Rush albums. You know what I'm saying? And what are you saying? Leave it in the comments below. What do you feel about Phil Collins and Roger Waters? Are you more of a Phil Collins fan? Are you more of a Roger Waters fan? Leave it in the comments below. And who out there doesn't think that Roger Waters doesn't talk a lot of garbage? I know there may be, I think about nobody. I think the only comment we'll get of somebody saying that, no, Roger Waters doesn't talk a lot of garbage, is Roger Waters himself. If he sees this video, then he'll end up leaving a comment like that. I think only him. Anyway, thank you so much for watching The Only News That Matters. I really do appreciate every single one of you. And I hope you are subscribed to my channel. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel and click that, that little notification bell. Just, smash it, as the little kids say. Smash that little notification bell. And then like the video. Smash that like button. Because it's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath and smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.